got more money to promote Don Reynolds sucks for $2 than we fucking got as nothing. That's so funny to me.
I know, isn't that great? They just go around just planting these seeds, like,
Right.
oh yeah, chocolate just melts in your mouth, and oh fuck Johnny and his ass, and Don Reynolds sucks for $2. Fuck those people, Glock
Right.
cock, and all this. But yeah, I know. I love that our supporters support everyone else.
Right.
So, all right, so we're gonna hit that. We'll hit that button and then hit the song, and then we'll come in.
So after the song, I just kind of do. Am I doing the intro after the song?
Yeah, you might as well.
All right.
I'm gross, so.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, well, here we go. Oh. Yeah.
The DRWC show. Take off your hats, get on your backs, let's have some fun. DR likes to shine his dome. WC likes to bone. Fuck buddy, he can't have my bone. No, really, leave my bone alone, buddy. Now it's time for the show.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck you, Buddy the dog. Enter the white chocolate and the Don Reynolds. Here after a 2 or 3 week bye station, here for that ass after the holidays. I am, as always, the white chocolate ready to melt in your mouth. Join as always with my long-suffering co-host, the Don Reynolds. How you doing today, Don?
Hey, buddy. I'm excited as hell. What's going on with you today?
Yeah, same old shit, different stuff. Fuck Buddy the dog. What's going on with you? Why are you so excited today? Did you take your pills again?
Well, it is time for another episode of the Donversation. So this is where we actually implement special guests in our show. We've been doing that for a couple times, and hopefully folks have enjoyed it. I certainly have enjoyed interviewing these special guests. So, and we got another special guest over here. So, hailing. I don't know if you know this gentleman here, but hailing currently resides in the Northeast as one of the best managers around. But he has been known to be in the territory regions, NWA, AWA, WWF, WWE, everything in between. You may have known this as one of the greatest managers that has ever existed. He is one of the Mount Rushmores. Bobby Heenan, Wizard, move out the fucking way, because here is the former Hall of Famer. I am talking about the one and the only, the Sidney Bakabella. What's going on there, buddy?
You said my name wrong. My name's Sidney Bakabella, former WWF Hall of Famer. I sit here with no shirt on because I am on steroids. All right? You probably can't afford steroids. I can because I am a man. Take a look at this. Zoom it in.
Yes,
How do you
sir.
zoom? How do you zoom?
Just like that. Well, I see, Mr. Bakabella, that you have been working out. So if it all means necessary, you look in great shape, sir.
I am in great shape. I go to the gym at least 2 times a month. I do about 5 minutes of cardiovascular exercise. After that, I take a lukewarm bath, eat a 16-ounce porterhouse steak, and ready for the next town.
Sounds good, very much. I wanted to first of all say thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. I like to give back to a guy, Make-A-Wish kid that reached out to me there. I don't know where he is, but I feel bad for a little bugger. He's you could tell there's a lot wrong, so I figured I'd help him out.
Absolutely. So we're a and when we were doing a little bit of research, we searched on the old social media, the old book face, and we were having a little bit of issues there, Sidney, because we tried calling you on the 900, 909, 9900, and for some
Yeah.
reason, we were getting old WCW clips. Slowly
Uh,
but surely, I'm getting $1.99 per minute. So I definitely am glad that this gentleman over here reached out to you and was able to grab that information.
Yeah. I don't know how he got a hold of me. I was standing by a payphone and it starts ringing. I always answer a payphone when it rings, and it was him. I didn't know he knew where I was, but he got me. So there we go. I like to hang out at payphones though. Any type of, you meet great people at payphones a lot. There's Bufa, who I always know from the Memphis payphone 36th and 18th. So, just good people, just good people.
So you would consider yourself a people person overall, is that correct?
I'm more of a payphone connoisseur than a people person.
Okay, I got you. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do is I want to bring the individual that actually got in contact with you. Now, I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah, so his name is Johnny Thunder. He's one of our connectors. So I wanted to bring him on the show real quick. Choco, can you bring over Mr. Thunder real quick? I really just want to introduce to the man that discovered Sidney Mozzarella over here. So.
I'll say
Yeah,
some
hang
nice
on.
words.
Yeah, you don't have to. Hang on.
Sidney Bakabella, you owe me a fucking French fry. Zach Gowen and you and I sat at a table in Berwyn, Illinois, and he stole the fucking French fry.
Hey, little buddy, I know you're not doing so well right now, and just hope that you get all that everything goes great for you. I know that things are really tough right now, and I just know that things will pick up for you, buddy. Let me give you an autograph or something, and a free T-shirt. I know you wanted Hogan, but he couldn't be here, so they sent me. So yeah, little buddy, you're gonna pull through this. You're gonna be strong. You're gonna fight.
I am gonna fight. My twisted little toe has been getting better over the last 4 or 5 years. I had a lot of trauma in my backyard wrestling fed, wrestling Jessica Thunder, Rusty James, and the BWF. So I've had many injuries, sir. But you are a former Hall of Famer, and you are pulling me through. You really
I
are, Sidney. You pull me through. You help me be a better man. The Cauliflower Alley Club is great. In the words of the late, great Ed Schumann, fuck off. Let's keep going.
I know that you're the only kid in that hospital with 6 toes, and I'm sorry that you hurt your pinky toe. But like I said, you're not gonna have to worry about that pain much longer. I feel like, but you keep pulling through and you keep working hard, little guy. The doctors are. I believe in the doctors. They're gonna
You-
pray for you.
You're making me tear up. I would appreciate the prayers. All of the viewers of this show, please pray for me as,
Okay, shut
as
up.
the former Hall of
Let's
Famer is praying for me.
shut up. All
Okay.
right. So yeah. There we go. Make a wish granted. Look at me. I'm like a genie granting make a wishes over
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
What a nice young little fat kid there. I love it.
Well, I think we all appreciate that there, Sydney. So,
Here we go.
absolutely. So, want to kind of get this started. So, you introduce yourself as the former WWE Hall of Famer.
WWF. WWF. Yeah, I was put in before. Oh yeah, WWF. That's when it was real.
I was just kind of curious there, Sydney. What class were you inducted in the WWF Hall of Fame?
That's a very intelligent question. 1992, I was inducted into the WWF Hall of Fame. I was one of the first inductees. It was myself. It was Dr. Jerry Graham, Bobby Davis. Vince appreciated the old timers. The old guard is what they called us. And piece of garbage Albano doesn't get until '96. So who's better.
Well, that's funny. I mean, because when I'm looking up the WWF Hall of Fame, and permit me to pry a little bit, but I'm not I'm not showing any kind of 1992 Hall of Fame. So I'm wondering if
Yeah,
you're kind of in the West
yeah.
Wing with Drew Carey or
Nope,
something
nope.
else.
When you win the war, you can write whatever you want in the history books. Okay, Vince Senior got rid of me, and the whole. I thought I was gonna talk. I didn't talk. I don't talk to any. I don't talk to cops. So yeah, Linda was at the hotel, and stories start, and now I'm not around anymore.
I see. Well, just out of curiosity, how long were you in the WWF?
Long time, brother. Long time. You know, you lose track of days, you lose track of hours, you lose track of minutes
Sure.
when you're in the Hall of Fame. Like time speeds up and slows down so much. So there was really nothing that it was a long time, years. A lot of the parents remember me. They used to kiss on the couch watching All American Wrestling when I would come on and plug shows for the Nassau Coliseum. A lot of kids in Long Island named Sidney.
Oh, I hear that. So, well, Sidney, just out of curiosity, can you remind me? Now, I have a very short memory. Can you remind me a little bit of your body of work in the WWF that maybe can jog my memory in terms of, just overall? So,
Oh,
who did you manage? Were you kind of a more of a back stage representative as an
I
example?
did it all. Without Sidney Bakabella, there was no WrestleMania 1. We'll get to that story for sure. When I came into the territory, they had me managing Dom DiNucci because Gino Monsoon was running a lot of the Philadelphia towns. He was running a lot of the Jersey towns. And then you had McMahon and Bowser up in the New England area. So Gino Monsoon loved me. So I would come in with Cicluna. I would come in with DiNucci. I would actually come in. I managed Dino Bravo. All right. And, Dino Bravo's the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. So a lot of that. And then I was gone shortly after. I only spent about 4 months there in 81, made about $48,000. And we were down. We actually headed down to Texas for the Von Erichs up until Gary Hart took over the book in '83.
That's crazy. So it's funny that you mentioned Texas. Just kind of doing my research a little bit. Weren't you born in Dallas, Texas, the Sportatorium?
Yeah, that's what I was told. My mother was a ring rat at the Sportatorium for Ed McLemore. So a lot of people, rumors out there that McLemore might be my old man. I never see any money for it, but I broke in at the Sportatorium when I was a small child selling popcorn and programs for a nickel a piece.
That's what I hear. And you actually were smart enough to sell not only up the nickel, but like 20 cents to put that more in your cup. Is that correct?
20, 25 cents. So all I had to do was give Macklemore and then Fritz, their cut, and then I could charge whatever I want. And I was a little kid, so people are going to pay whatever. And I made a killing. I made a killing. I made more than the missing link just by selling programs.
Oh my Lord. And that was
Oh yeah,
that was money back in the day.
Mi-
What?
missing link worked for free.
Oh, I see. I got you. Now, during your time in Texas, rumor has it that you also babysat the Von Erichs as well. Tell me a little bit more about that. How much of a little rascals were they back in the day?
Some people call it babysitting. Some people call it just locking 5 kids in a closet until they're crying and screaming and falling asleep. Yeah, you call it whatever you want, okay? If you want to call it babysitting, go ahead. I would throw them in the closet with a couple of bags of drugs and let them do whatever they want.
Well, whatever shuts up the little SOBs, I guess you.
They're the worst kids, all right? I knew when Mike Von Erich was 6 years old that he was going to off himself, all right? I knew right away he was going to be the one. I didn't know that they were all going to do it. I knew Mike was, though, for sure. Mike wasn't cut out for the world, all right?
Yeah, but it was. But if you had those thoughts, didn't you didn't you have an opportunity to maybe talk him down? Like, listen, go a different route, or was that not your style? You were just like,
Not my
hey,
job.
not.
Not my job. No.
But
No, he's got a father that hates him. Let him do that. He's
I
got a mother that doesn't talk to him. Let her do that.
I see. I gotcha. So back in the sportatorium, that was your initial start. Is that correct, or is that pretty accurate?
No, yeah, the initial start was selling that, and then but the first televised match I ever had was actually for Eddie Farhart up in Detroit, for in Cobo Hall, and up there I managed Jerry Crusher Blackwell, and he and I got along great. I actually ran into him for Vern as well after the split because they did a big split because the Crusher and the Bruiser or Indianapolis, and Eddie Farhart was the NWA, and they were all fighting. I just wanted to get paid, so yeah, I was up there a lot for them.
I see. I gotcha. So did you now not only that, but I mean, it sounds like you've been all over the place. AWA, NWA. I mean, pretty much you name it there.
Everywhere, a lot in Canada. I did a lot in for Stu, and then once Stu dried up, every time he dried up, when he put Bruce in charge, I headed over to Vancouver and worked for Al Tomko. Al Tomko, he's one of the best bookers that nobody talks about. Piper, myself, Jerry Morrow, we had a lot of great times. Jeff Costa was there. Butcher Hughes was there. We had a lot of great times, great matches up there. There was a guy, Dean Ho, who has actually worked for Vince Sr. in New York earlier in his career. He was one of his tag champions. He was on his way out, and they brought him into Vancouver, and we had a great run with Dean Ho, because I go on TV and I say Dean Ho, more like Dean Who, and they that was offensive back then.
Well, I'll tell you what, there, Sidney. That apparently wasn't your first offense. I know you speak from the heart, but from what I'm researching, back in 1988, you were selected to be on the event center for the WWF. Do you recall that?
Absolutely. They brought me back. Junior had a soft spot for me. And through Gorilla, through Gino Morella, they brought me back for the event center, and that you can't swear on syndicated TV. I thought it was cable.
Well, it wasn't even the swearing thing. Apparently, from what I'm reading, you got fired 45 minutes later about being rehired or being hired in general, because you later said that the Predator movie, you thought it was a bio of Terry Garvin's. Do you recall that?
Well, I mean, I thought it was. It's Terry Garvin, we knew what was going on with Terry Garvin and Mel Phillips. Okay, that actually did happen. I don't know. Predator. They wanted me to put it over because Ventura was in it, and I thought I didn't know. I don't have time to go to the movies. I'm on the road. So a Predator. Oh, it must be a biopic about Terry Garvin and Mel Phillips.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but it sounds like people take it the wrong way, and you go from place to place. But it sounds like you have more. Sounds like you have a value when it comes to the industry in general there. So, kind of doing a little bit more research there. Now I know as of late, I think you grass-rooted into the Northeast, places like Chikara Wrestling, Limitless Wrestling. I was just kind of curious in terms of now I know you're more experienced in the territorial days, and actually that's more territory anyways. But what's the difference between how did you adapt between getting into the NWA, AWA to now's territory, and what's really the difference between maybe being on cable compared to social media, in your opinion?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question, because when you watch TV now, TV wrestling now, it's not TV. It's not wrestling. I mean, it's not wrestling at all. They're just out there. They're rehearsing. They've rehearsed all week, and they go out there. They do an elaborate dance, and then I do an independent event. Somewhere around the country. There's no rehearsing. There's no safety net. We're going out there. We're the last link to vaudeville. And we go out there and we entertain people. And it's so much harder to entertain a room of 300, 400 people than it is 30,000 people. So we get to go out there and we get to do that all the time. And, Limitless Wrestling up in Maine, you brought them up. I wrestled Tony Atlas in Limitless Wrestling a few months ago. 2,500 people sold out the Colisee in Lewiston, Maine, to watch us two old timers go at it one last time. It was great, It was like old timers' day at Yankee Stadium, but it's just a lot closer. There's a lot more interaction on TV. Everything now, it looks like it has a script. Looks like they hand you a script and tell you to go out there and read someone else's words. I don't do that. I'm real. I'm the most real person. And everybody says it. I'm the most real person you're going to see on any wrestling event. I don't rehearse. I don't practice. I don't call a spot, brother. No, we don't do high spots.
I hear that. So, and that's definitely proven. Now, you mentioned Tony Atlas, and I know you wrestled not only Tony Atlas but also Ricky Morton.
Yeah,
I think you had a match back in 2023 with Swoggle. They
threw all the plunder in the ring. They threw the plunder in the ring.
Yep. So not only are you a great manager, if you don't mind me saying, but you're also a great wrestler as well. So, So with that said, there, Sidney, how does one get in shape the way you do? Is it more of like a Rocky 2, like drink 5 fucking raw eggs at 6 o'clock in the morning to be as built as you? Just run 2,000 fucking miles a day? Or is it something a little bit different, like Ozempic?
No. See, if I'm putting anything into my body, it's Winstrol, it's Deca, a little bit of testosterone. I mix that with some human growth hormones, and that's how I get a kick, because I'm a 69-year-old man. So I need a little advantage. Most of the guys that are working now are in early 20s, mid 20s. So I am very open and honest about my steroid use. You could tell by my body right there. So, I do a lot of that. And then, what I like to do to get ready for a match is I like to call my opponent's family, and I try to convince them not to show up, and I get in their head. Everybody has an email address now. So what I do is I'll find that email address and I'll give it to a bunch of these different political groups. That way it's long term. It's long-term psychology, and I get in there, and I gotta say it works, because now Ricky Morton owes a lot of money to the IRS.
That is true. But going back to your wrestling accomplishments too, I thought it was a crock of shit when you were facing the bulldozer Matt Tremont for the IWGP Championship. Look, I saw that wrestling event, and when you were wrestling your heart out, and by the way, you were protecting yourself with all the little bubbles and all that stuff. I encourage everyone to watch this wrestling match. You're just preparing yourself, right?
It's a great match.
It was an absolutely great match. So, and it was like psychology. I mean, you out-thunked this guy, if you don't mind me saying. And, and when you were hurt, trying to gain your strength back, for some reason, I think Tremont crumpled. Maybe he had some sort of like heart attack in the ring. You covered him to take advantage of that. You won the championship, and then all of a sudden this fucking ref comes back and goes, "It's a cheating thing. Someone ran in. Channing Thomas fucking interfered or whatever." And I didn't see that in the video. So I mean, I consider you kind of one of those Ted DiBiase scenarios where you won the championship and you got gypped on that.
It was the greatest 3 minutes in the history of Worcester, Massachusetts. When I won the title, people were fornicating at the merch table to my win. Okay. And you had some mark referee, probably from the commission, that had no idea. They're on the take, and they're all a bunch of stooges. And what they do is they come in, they just, they ruined a moment for the people. Now, I'll tell you one of my favorite things about the match, because Matt Tremont had no idea I was going to do this until we get to the curtain. I was kind of hiding from Matt Tremont so that way he could never see me until we get to the curtain, and then he sees all the bubble wrap all over me, and he couldn't stop laughing. Like you could actually see on his entrance, he's still laughing because I got in his head. See, I knew, and he didn't take me seriously. Everyone thought I was gonna die, and I won the title that night in front of 80,000 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you did. 80,000 people. I knew it was a big crowd, but I didn't think it was like Wembley Stadium type of big crowd.
Bigger. Wembley Stadium could fit inside of the White Eagle in Worcester, Massachusetts. All right, the White Eagle. It's very large, very large building. You can't see from the camera angles. They do a lot of tricks with the cameras. But yeah, we did about 90,000 people that night.
Wow. Let's go back to your strong suit, the manager role.
Oh yeah.
Now, when it comes to now, I know you've wrestled, or I know you wrestle some of the best, and I know you beat some of the best. But when it comes to the managerial role, I don't. And again, it's me, it's my ignorance over here, Sidney. So forgive me. But when it comes to managers, I was wondering, who did you manage back in the day that maybe someone would know that just grew and blossomed, and like how did you kind of teach them the ropes type of thing?
Oh. Yeah, no, there were so many kids. Back in the day, I know back in 87-ish, I managed a kid up for Stu when I came back. Bad News Alan Koagi. He was a judo guy. He won medal in judo, and then he was in the Olympics, and he went on to Vince because Stu couldn't do anything with him, so he became a big star. I taught him that what we do, it's kind of a work. You don't have to go out there and throw the people. It's a lighten up, kid. And he was a little stiff, but good guy there. Worked a lot with him. Down in Pensacola, I actually gave Hulk Hogan his first steroid injection. So really helped him out and catapulted his career back in 79, 80-ish before he went to Japan and all that. So, there's a lot of guys out there that I've definitely helped out, and right now I'm helping one out. Yesterday was our anniversary. We are the greatest thing to ever happen to the United States on January 6th, because that's the first time Channing Thomas and I worked together in Worcester, Massachusetts. And a lot of people yesterday, January 6th was trending on that social media. And it's, everybody's talking about January 6th and how important it is to America, because that is the day that Sidney Bakabella and Channing Thomas debuted. And, we've taken the world by storm now. It's, we're the greatest collection of white men to ever assemble on January 6th.
Oh, okay. So that's where that's where the hype is on January 6th. I thought it was something else, but
No.
Thank you so much for correcting me on that. So January 6th is only solely for the combination of Sidney Bakabella and Channing Thomas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they love us. The people are talking every January 6th. It's all over the news. You've seen it, Jan 6, right? That's us. Sidney Bakabella, Channing Thomas. We wanted to call it Chan 6, but everybody took over, and it's Jan 6, and that's what we're for. Like we are, we love our American people.
It sounds like it, and again, that's circling back to you being a people person. I know you like hanging out at the payphones, but I think you give yourself some credit. I think you are a people person deep down, despite the fact that people are booing you and telling you to fuck off and all that
all the
stuff.
time.
Misunderstood.
These people they're mean. They're genuinely mean to me. When I was a kid and there was an old man, everybody was like, bless his heart, bless his heart. Now they give me the swear finger. They yell at me. They yell some really horrible things to me. And some of them try to fight me. I love fighting fans because they get to know. they get to realize, hey, I'll protect the business.
Absolutely. So, well, you're one of the few old guards that protect the business. It sounds like so.
That's right. I saw something a while back about gatekeepers in wrestling. We need guys like me to make sure those mamby-pambies drama club guys don't get into the business. We need to beat them up and make sure that they stay out of the bit. Stay on your side. All right, let the men do this.
That's right. Going back to you said you're what, 87 years old?
69. I'm a 69-year-old man.
First of all, I want to say you look great for 60.
I know.
I would pin you at 32. I mean,
no.
So with your long-standing career as a manager and a wrestler, can you tell me some of the biggest feuds that you had in your professional career?
I mean, just thinking back, I already mentioned Tony Atlas, so that one we already covered that. In the Chikara territory, it was always the throwbacks, Dasher Hatfield and Mr. Touchdown against the Devastation Corporation. But right now it's been up in Limitless, Channing Thomas and Desmond Cole. There's been so many, and then going back, I mean, when I was a Freebird, we drew a lot of money in Texas against those Von Erich kids once they got a little older. So
wait, I'm sorry to cut you off. You're a what now? A Freebird?
Brother, I was the best Freebird. Okay, so buddy Jack Rogers, he had a little bit of a drug problem. All right. So it wasn't really reliable. This is when David Manning was booking, and David Manning brings me in, and he's like, "Hey, we need you to, ride." Not many guys could drink with Michael P.S. Hayes and Terry Gordy, so he's like, "We know you could hang with them. Can you fill in for a few months?" We made over $100,000. In that short run, we sold out Reunion Arena. We sold out Texas Stadium. No one has sold out Texas Stadium. We sold it out. Sportatorium's easy to sell out when you're me, but there were so many different arenas that we sold out in that little run. And then Buddy Jack gets out of rehab, comes back in. Boop, I'm off to work for Judo Gene LaBelle in California. Sold out the Olympic Auditorium, wrestling as El Olympico #2.
I thought so. When did Jimmy Garvin step in as a Freebird?
After I was already gone, so I was back for Vince Jr. Doing the Frenchie Martin gimmick, and so I couldn't go back to Texas, so they brought in Jimmy Garvin, who is, I'll break kayfabe here, not related to Ron Garvin in any way.
What? Wait a second.
I'll say it. Yep, I'll kill the territory.
You blew my mind.
Fuller. Yep. Oh yeah, Robert Fuller and Bob Orton want to try to expose the business. Ronnie Garvin and Jimmy Garvin are not brothers.
Wow. Well, I was, kind of going back to the feud. What's your problem with Tony Atlas? It sounds like you were just gnawing at you were provoking him to come to the territory and fight you.
That's right, because Tony Atlas doesn't give the people anything. Tony Atlas shows up, signs his pictures, goes home. All right, Sidney Bakabella is there each and every time. I'll sign pictures, and I'll charge more money than Tony Atlas, too. And I'll make more money than Tony Atlas. And I'll stay, and I'll work. Tony Atlas just goes home, and I'm sick of it because Tony Atlas, the guy's been given opportunity. Got an opportunity from Jim Barnett. Got an opportunity from Vince Jr. Got an opportunity from Fritz Von Erich, and he squandered them all. All right, Mario Savoldi gave him an opportunity. Ruined that, sleeping on a park bench. So I don't care about Tony Atlas, all right? Tony Atlas, piece of garbage.
I had no clue. I thought he was a really good guy, but apparently, books.
No,
well,
no, looks. Yeah, no. He's definitely. I'm looking at him. I'm willing to bet he did anabolic steroids at one point in time.
I see. Wait, now you mentioned Hogan doing steroids.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I injected him. I was there when Billy Graham did it in a hotel room in Altoona, Pennsylvania. I saw the whole thing, so I was there. I was there for that one. I watched it all. Bruno class act, but Billy Graham, no, always injecting the wrestlers. He actually injected Shane McMahon with steroids when he was 8 years old. I watched it.
Wow, 8 years old?
8 years old.
That sounds ludicrous to me. Why would he inject someone that's 8 years old?
Billy Graham would put it in his Raisin Bran.
Well, that's a little different, but to help someone out like that, 8 years old?
Yeah, loved it. He's a creep. Billy Graham, big creep.
Well, no doubt.
Big creep.
And no doubt he's a creep. So it just it's a little bit more bizarre. Have you told anybody else this, or is this the first time you're telling someone about this?
Oh, I tell the boys all the time. You know, everybody always wants stories with me, and you know, I'm willing to give them I'm willing to give them road stories. I'm all about giving back and telling people, you know, that Billy Graham was a pedophile.
I have to ask. I'm going to move away from this pedophile thing. So, but you mentioned road stories. Give me a good maybe one or two good road stories, if you don't mind, please. You know.
All right, yeah, I'm in a hotel room with Dory Funk Sr. watching him nude wrestle Sweet Sapphire back in 1990. And he comes out of the bathroom pretending it was his locker room, only wearing his cowboy hat and cowboy boots. They went 8 minutes, and it was the best match I'd ever seen.
Wow, good deal. So,
oh yeah.
One final question there, Sidney, and I really appreciate you coming along here. If you had to manage anybody, I guess past, present, or I guess now, who would it be and why?
Riding with Andre, I feel like I managed the best. You know, when I was managing him down in Continental for the Fullers, that was a great time. Past got to be Hogan. He made the most money, right? Hulk Hogan, put me on top, or let me manage anybody opposite Hulk Hogan. That's even better. That's the night. And right now, man, I'm managing the best guy out there. I'm managing world-class Channing Thomas. I'm managing all good Anthony Green, and I'm managing Vince Jr. messed up on this one. They got rid of him, but I'm managing Dijak right now, and making a ton of money with them.
Wow, absolutely. So, well, I tell you what, it's probably not going to be too long until they reach like mainstream at this point. So, have they called you during as like WWE or AEW have called you during this process there? I have to assume.
I get calls a lot. You know, I actually did AEW a couple of years ago, and I walked in, and they made me feel like the prettiest girl in high school. Everybody's saying hello to me. Everybody's so happy I'm there, so happy to see me. They offered me this $26 million contract. I'm like, guys, I love working the VFWs. I can't take $28 million to come and work these big arenas and thank you, but no thank you. But, if you want me to go on your TV and do a little something, I will. And they had me as a shark. So I go out there in the Boston Garden as a shark, and I'm slapping Tony Schiavone in the back of the head because it brought me back. It brought me back to TBS studios.
Wow, sounds good. So you that is selflessness, if I haven't heard anything more in my entire life. Sidney Bakabella, you are the man. You are
I know.
A treasure. Just ask you. So
a national treasure. All right? I am a national treasure. That's what the women call me.
Wow. Well, Sidney Bakabella, I really appreciate you coming along. It's really been a treat. Chaco, I didn't know if you had any questions or any follow-ups in general. I think I'm pretty much all done on my end when it comes to that.
Where's the sick kid? Did he die?
No, he did. Actually, on the way back to his home planet. I did have one question for you, Sydney. Before we came on, did you happen to take a shit? Because if you did, could you kindly put it back? It was part of a bundle, a dozen bundle that we were giving to the sick kid.
Huh? Take a what?
If you took a shit, could you please put it back?
That
It belongs to the
that one
dead
fell
kid.
that one fell flat, dummy. All
I
right, put
know.
the other guy back on the phone. I
Yeah.
like him better. He's actually intelligent.
I know
Yeah.
he is. Anyway.
Yeah,
Sidney,
he's the funniest guy in the group home, huh? Look at him.
Come on. So, well, Sidney, it was thank you so much for being on the show. It was definitely a pleasure. Wanted to do a little bit of a shout out if I could there. First and foremost, we'd like to thank the live audience for coming along. You could have spent anywhere doing anything, but you decided to come along with us, so definitely appreciate that. Want to check out the Wrestling Soup every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also like to encourage you to check out the Wrestling Soup and Friendos. You can see us on speaker. It's a slew of shows that is involved in the Wrestling Soup with Anthony Missionary Thomas and Joseph E. Numbers. Also like to give a shout out to the Square Circle podcast with Marie Shadows. Also can be on Spotify and Apple. Of course, the DRWC show every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We normally are in our Discord at Wrestling Soup, but if you, we also do Donversations like the one that we're doing right now, which you can actually check us on YouTube. Dose of Chocolate with my partner, White Chocolate, along with his other partner in crime, Jeff Lippman. And also we want to shout out the PUWF, the podcast of Unappreciated Wrestling. Check out those guys on their podcast as well. Sidney, if you allow me to do this, I know that there is an upcoming show coming up at the Khalees in Lewiston, Maine, January 16th. It's the Limited Rumble 2026, where you will be taking your managerial skills over Desmond Cole versus Donathan Dijak. I think you'll be managing him as well. Is that correct?
That's right. I'll be managing Dijak at that event. I'll also be managing Channing Thomas and Anthony Green against the team of Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, who are coming in. Maxwell Jacob Friedman's on the card, defending the AEW World Title against Alec Price. And I don't want too many spoilers here, but you may see Papa Bear in that Limitless Rumble. Okay.
Oh, nice! And don't forget to check out the Laney Luck against Becca match as well. For the,
there we go. We got that, and then I'll be in the Chicago area second week of February for Dreamwave Wrestling. It's at the KOC Club or the KC Club in LaSalle, Illinois. Main event, because I'm always in the main events. I'll be managing Channing Thomas, Brittany Brooks, Bobby Orlando, and Hartenbauer against Connor Hopkins and his losers.
Check that out. Now, are we able to check this out like via YouTube stream there, Sidney? Or
yeah, so Limitless Wrestling will be streaming live on YouTube on January the 16th. That's a Friday night. I believe it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Limitless Wrestling YouTube. You can also go on there and watch every Limitless Wrestling event. So you could see myself against Ricky Morton. You could see myself against Tony Atlas. All the memories will come back. And if you watch it with a woman, you'll get her pregnant.
Sidney Bakabella, everyone. So check him out. I encourage it. But again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for everyone stopping by. And as always, fuck Buddy the dog. We are out. Good night. And are we out?